If I were to play Donkey Kong Country today on the Super Nintendo, I could beat it in a matter of 3 or 4 hours because it has been a while and I might have to get used to the controls again, but it's doable. Back when it came out ages ago, it took not just me, but I'm sure many gamers a long time because we weren't just caught up in the gameplay itself, but more so in the storyline, the background, the music. To me, it started with the what was it called, the Rareware logo at the beginning, that big yellow flashy lightning like logo. Then it came to the introduction of Cranky Kong with his old record player, and then DK just coming out of nowhere with his rock and roll radio. I mean, that set the tone that that was going to be an interesting, funny game, and it did. And then you got to the first level, which was Jungle Hijinks. The dun 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 dun. That got your mind in the groove, and you just started playing around, going on with where was this going. You started killing the green guys, then the armadillos, then the vulture. I mean, it was that was fun, and to be honest, the first level took me when I first played. I won't lie, an hour. But like I said, it was because I was so into the graphics, the music itself. I mean, who wasn't? It was that was the blast with the first level and the introduction of Donkey Kong. Then you had the dying when you died, especially with DK. Me and my buddies would just make ourselves laugh just watching DK die because it was that sudden pause, and then the funny music played afterwards. It was and then the I don't know how it went, but that was that was hilarious every time. Probably did that 100 times at least. And not just the first level, but every level of that game had its unique background, had its unique bonus levels. Some of them were repeat, like the one where you tried to find where the balloon was, or trying to get the animal symbols to go to extra bonus rounds, which I thought was just awesome because you got that was a great opportunity to get more lives. Uh, but yes, the bonus levels again, the music of the bonus levels was kept your spirits high. It wasn't so monotone. It was inspiring. But every level, in my opinion, had its style, and that's what kept you going in the game. It was one of those games that you didn't stop midway and said, "Okay, this is going to be too redundant. There's nothing fresh." Donkey Kong had that in every level. You know, you started in the forest, in the jungle, actually. Then you went to the cave mines, especially riding on that mine cart. The again, the music in the background. It didn't matter how many times you died, you kept going until you finished the level. The 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 adrenaline kept you going until you got to the exit. Um, then you had I believe after that world it was the forest world. It was either the forest world, then the snow world. But again, I can go on and on. Every world, every level had its fun, and you never stopped. You kept going until the very end. I mean, granted, the only thing that really I wish was more challenging were the bosses. The bosses were relatively easy in that game. Um, Unless if you're playing the first time, yeah, it took you a while to see how it all worked. But basically, every boss up to the final boss, it was basically the same thing. You hit them when you got a chance, and you were careful afterwards because there was a lag time where you couldn't do anything to them. You had to wait till they were vulnerable again, and you just did the same thing, and you passed the boss. It was easy. Uh, but anyway, that still, I think you were too caught up in the levels themselves rather than the boss levels to stay into that game. And and even so, the final boss, the big fat crocodile with the crown, I don't remember his name at the top of my head. I should because I played it over 100 times now. even that game was still relatively easy because you again you it took you a while, but you've got to figure out the rhythm of how it worked out. And at the end, you thought, that wasn't so bad. I think the bosses kind of got somewhat harder into Donkey Kong 2 and Donkey Kong 3, but I'll save those for another video. But yes, Donkey Kong Country was one of those Super Nintendo games that you could play on for hours and hours, days, weeks, months. It was one of those games I had to rent every Friday night for Blockbuster after the school week. I mean, it was just that amazing, and I wish it was still like that to this day.